let's go, let's go. Zap in here. Zap in here. Zap in here. What's going on, everybody? I'm your boy Jason. I'm back with another Zap exclusive. You know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes?
Yes.
How we feeling? How we feeling? Lady D in the building, 560. Hey, handsome. What's going on, beautiful?
Yes.
How we feeling? How we feeling? So tonight's a dope show. I got my boy Calvin Michaels in the building, of course. About to give us the Zap news. And then we got the Mako Girls in the building, all right? Get into it. Woo. Jesus. Let's get started. What's going on, Kiki? What's going on? What up, David? I see y'all on here. How we feeling, everybody? Calvin, are you ready? We're calling. The line is ringing. Calvin, are you ready? The line is ringing. Oh, there you go. Hey. What up, Calvin?
Hey, folks.
Welcome
Happy
back.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Welcome back to Zap Exclusive.
I am back. Thank you.
Of course. So tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right, folks. I am Calvin Michaels. I pretty much do a little bit of everything. Music, social commentary. Right now we're actually shooting a short film that we are going to start shopping around in the winter. So I'm just doing a little bit of everything right now.
Okay. Get into it, all right? Calvin's loaded up, locked, and getting ready to definitely shoot off a whole bunch of things in the new year for y'all. So make sure y'all go. Can they still donate or support that film, or is it too late?
So the Indiegogo campaign is actually closed, but you can always just shoot something on Cash App and we can still add it to our post-production. So my Cash App is Give Me the Beat, just like my actual IG handle. So yeah, we start filming on November 18th.
All right, and we'll definitely be in the mix to support that. All right, so make sure y'all definitely go and support Calvin's new project and send that Cash App. Okay, so let's get into some Zap news. A lot of things going on in the world. It's really, really crazy in the world. Everybody, you are here on this live. Welcome to Zap Exclusive.
Yes.
If you haven't done anything, let me give you something to do. Click this arrow all the way at the bottom and share it out to everybody in your network.
Yes.
Let them know to get in here. Zap in here. The news, okay? So let's get into it. Take off. Gun down in Houston. So many conspiracy theories around his death. Just what are your thoughts?
So I don't really think there's any conspiracy that I follow. I think things happen sometimes. Sometimes things just happen. Stupid things happen. Folks be in their ego. Folks make really foolish choices. Folks sometimes don't like to see somebody else successful or be happy. They want to make an example out of somebody. They need something to latch onto that gives them validity for their existence. So they tend to latch on to people that are successful, find a reason to bring them down to their level. So I don't really think there's any conspiracies. I think sometimes we watch so many movies that we always think there's always a hidden meaning behind everything. Sometimes stuff just honestly happens. And based on, what's out there, the sad part is that you can literally see what took place, unfortunately. I think it's all pretty much just evident as things happen the way they happen. I don't think there's any further sinister behind the scenes movement where it was going to be something and this person was about to buy a label and you had to take them out as the sacrifice. So I'm not there. It just seems like a tragedy that took place where, again, folks with inflated egos took it amongst themselves and folks responded sporadically and irrationally, and sadly he was collateral. So that's that.
Definitely. Everyone says that Takeoff was like the quiet one in the group. He minded his business. He was the one that didn't have beef with Cardi B or Nicki Minaj like that. Like he kind of stayed neutral. Even Nicki showed him love. Even I'm not sure if you follow the rap movement, but QC, Lil Baby and Migos, they don't really get along. But Baby actually just wrote something and just said R.I.P. to Take. So I think the world is definitely mourning. This happened on Halloween at 2:30. He dropped a song on that same day. There was so many subliminals, so that's why the internet is going crazy, because there's like, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true.
But it's kind of like when I Ain't Mad at Your video dropped after Tupac died. Same thing. You can go right now. There's people still in 2022 who know this man. They swear he's alive. He in Cuba somewhere. He hanging out with Asada Shakur. They just played cards yesterday. Folks, I remember being in middle school, And there was this rumor that he was supposed to come back on the 7th anniversary of his death. And so then the 7th anniversary came. And I was like, all right, so where's he at? That don't mean he got to make an announcement, but he here. Okay, y'all say so. So, yeah, I mean, I get what people are saying. I do think I'm within the industry, though, there are some things that have sinister meanings and undertones. But no, I really just think this happened to be a coincidence. I think sometimes things coincidentally happen. It's not always a conspiracy. And the other thing is, like, I don't think people sign up to, literally die for anything. So, you know, like I said, it's a tragedy. And based on how you saw the reaction, based on how you see what happened with Quavo and everything, like, I'll tell you the beef I really have, though. The beef I have is when, sadly, these entertainers are killed grossly, whatever happens, and then all the blog sites break their necks to be the first with the details. So they have no problem showing somebody in their last moments because they need the viral.
Yeah.
They have no problem, because a lot of times the world finds out the same time the family does, because everybody was so pressed to be first. And I think that conversation of integrity is kind of going out the window. And so we've become desensitized to tragedy, to death.
Feel about that? How do we feel about filming people's death? Like, okay, there's so many point of views of that. Like, we watched George Floyd's video, and I felt like the nation had to see that to wake everybody up and to get us back on this train again to kind of fighting for Black rights. But then it becomes like this shady and other side to it. People just do it for exploitation because, it's a celebrity. So there's a very thin line. But now, again, they don't know who actually killed Takeoff. But the video clips are helping everybody piece together the puzzle. So there's really a thin line. What do you think about just filming death? And comment below what you guys all think about that as well.
Yeah, I think multiple things can be true at once. In the case of George Floyd, the scary part is, even if somebody wanted to go and help, it's like you're going up against a representative of an entire system that can also take your life. You can be next as far as trying to stop the police. We've seen many instances where somebody tried to step in and they end up becoming collateral. So I think in that instance, it's a bit more chaotic. And really, people were filming that as a response to more so what's been happening in the last few years, where people see police and automatically start filming, because it's supposed to almost be like insurance to ensure that the police know they're on cam. They're not going to do the most. They're going to check themselves. And unfortunately, with Minneapolis police department, they didn't care. And that officer had no shame sitting there for 8 minutes. And I think even with that aspect, it became a conversation of inflated ego, where, well, since y'all filming me, we just going to go all out then. So it is what it is. And, even when you hear his commentary, well, if he could breathe, he wouldn't still be talking. Or if he couldn't breathe, he wouldn't be talking. All those kind of things. So I think in that instance, yes, there are moments where you probably should be filming for protection, but nobody thought the man was going to die right then and there. People thought that would be kind of something for a police brutality conversation, not an actual homicide. But in regards to this space where we're in, where literally, rather than even trying to consider helping, you have people who film because they want the clout. It's not even about, we're filming because we want to ensure that whatever happened, it doesn't happen again, vice versa. Like, real talk, a few years back, I was in a grocery store. Somebody ran over my foot with the shopping cart. So I started fussing at him. I was like, you could have said, excuse me, something. And so, the other person, because it was the girlfriend. So then here come the boyfriend, now the boyfriend. Anybody talking to my girl like that? Nobody talking to my girl. And I'm just saying, like, she could have said, excuse me, she hit me with the cart. I look to the right. Here comes some goofy person with the phone recording because they thought I was about to square off at the Harris Theater. I'm like, that ain't even my energy. Like, it's where we're at now, where people are ready. Get the cameras out on deck.
About to square
ASAP,
up?
ready. I was like, I'm not about to fucking leave the grocery store. Lines are too long. But no, I think that's where we've gone. So like I was saying, going back to the blogs and everything, we've seen so many moments where people want to be the first. Well, they'll even put information that's not even accurate just so they can get the traction, just so they can say that they're the first. And I think the challenge we've run into with that is that, again, that conversation of integrity. And it goes back to what I was saying, where society's becoming more desensitized to everything. It's not even a big deal anymore. And so many people were comfortable watching a video of a man in his last moments and the people around him panicking and freaking out. Like, it's not even shocking for some people anymore. And I think that's a dangerous and slippery slope, because then it becomes, a conversation of integrity versus clout versus humanity.
So do you feel like this is something, like, now that there's social media, do you feel like this should be like a class implemented in school? Because let's be honest, this is not 40 and 50-year-olds recording people dying. These are all obviously Gen Zs, you know what I'm saying, very young kids or like young adults that are just, they pull their phones out for everything. They don't even know how to flight, like run away. Like, how are you in the middle of danger and recording? You're supposed to run home, like, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm confused. But do you feel like this should be implemented in school, like how to deal with this new age of, I guess, more moralism?
I don't know if necessarily the schools, and I only say that because I think there's some bigger issues that the schools need to tackle right now since our curriculums are a freaking S word show. Um, I do think, though, however, more so maybe a conversation around humanities courses or things in regards to like sociology and just overall behavior of people collectively is more so the conversation of just understanding how to interact and do different things. But I feel like every generation already knows that. It's just two generations, which I would say is the latter half of millennials and much of Gen Z, are just in a space where it's our norm, it's our standard to record everything now. There's pros and cons. Some of the pros are it can help you get out of some nonsense when you're in it. It can help back a story that you're trying to utilize when you need to defend yourself from something in the court system or, whatever. But on the other side, sometimes it makes things worse. It's kind of like, even with schools and when the kids fight. When I was a teenager, nobody had smartphones like that yet. So if you missed a fight at school, you missed a fight. But if you were somebody who was at the fight and could be the reporter, you were like the neighborhood celebrity newspaper for that day to catch you. Where you're talking about, oh man, you missed it. He just walk, walk, walk. Today, everybody has a phone. And I think the challenge you run into now is if you're in a fight in public and you see phones out there, automatically you're going to kind of turn it up another notch because you really don't want to be known as the person who got stumped out in front of the world. So people tend to do things that are a bit more extreme and a little bit more out of their character just to ensure they're not going to be that hashtag for all the wrong reasons. But I think that too is a dangerous slope because now you see the kids stepping on each other's head.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, y'all trying to kill each other for real. Okay. So
Kids
it's like
bringing guns on buses. It's getting
buses, they're
crazy out here.
desensitized. No problem. Yeah, we gonna film ourselves dragging the lady off the bus because she asked us, could we stop cussing? And we think it's funny. Like everything, the bar only gets higher and higher in regards to the extremities,
I see
but the
kids beating up
reaction for desensitized. You said what?
kids beating up the bus drivers and they filming
Yeah.
it, and like it's just getting it's getting crazy. It really is getting crazy. But let's get on to the next topic. Takeoff suspect. His name is actually allegedly Lil Cam. And apparently he's gunned down too a few days after the superstar was basically gunned down at the bowling alley. So yeah, again, this just doesn't end. Like this kind of, and these guys are young. They're all in their 20s.
Yeah, they
So
all
I have no clue, what's really going on. There's actually some comments here, and I want to actually read this. I'm for my people. Real talk. Fear is worse than failure. We need to stand for something, or we will fail at everything. We are enslaved, and at most, our people don't even realize. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. I agree with that completely. She also just carried up and said, I mean, come on. Kyrie just sent a link to a movie and see what happened to him. Well, we're about to get to Kyrie Irving in a little bit. Slow your horses. Key Brown Skin says our generation needs to do better. Yes. Yes. Definitely. Our generation definitely came from the era of like you fight, you duke it out, and then you got your ass beat, you just
done.
on the next day. And that was it. But now, like you said, it's the generation of people don't want to be shamed or they don't want to be embarrassed. So they're gonna make sure they go that if they beat you up, probably what's coming up next is they probably gonna try to pull the loser.
And I think that too, yeah, because again, when you see somebody filming, you know it's going to the internet. And once it's on the internet, it's there forever. So people now, it's kind of like, I want to protect my image, I don't even want to say brand, but, I want to protect what it is that I believe is mine and what I value. So yeah, I'm going to go all out if I'm going to be on camera. So you want to duke it out? Okay, we about to wreck for real. So as opposed to years ago, something went down, you threw hands and it was it. Eventually you move on. We're not in that space anymore because people can always go and pull things back up and use it against you for whatever. So I think we're just in a space now where social media and all kind of content is a part of our daily experience. In the same way that I always say something like music is our sixth sense. You got the five senses. I really believe music is our sixth if we had one. I feel like social media and the presence of being on the internet and everything like that would be like a version of the seventh one we have now, where social media is just it's reflective of our experience. It's reflex now.
God, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
I do. I hope we can get it together. And again, this death just doesn't stop; it just keeps on going. Aaron Carter, found unresponsive in a bathtub. Um,
That's crazy, ain't it? Yeah.
it's just like I don't know how many times I've had you on the show at this point, but quite a few, and we've reported quite a few deaths. Like from PNB Rock to, it just doesn't, like, it's actually kind of getting insane. And these Aaron was just turned 35 1 month ago. So they're not really living too long. I don't know what's going on. But the brother Nick Carter, you guys know who's in Backstreet Boys, actually spoke out. And just a small part of what stood out to me from his statement was addiction and mental illness is the real villain here. And just keep in mind that they actually weren't following each other on social media at the time of his passing as well. So
Yeah,
interesting
I
just
don't
to hear
think they've
that.
been close for a while. I remember Aaron took his girlfriend, so yeah, I don't think they've been that close for a long time. So yeah, little brother, older brothers. But
Damn.
no, I think with Aaron, unfortunately, that conversation of fame, everybody's not built for fame, especially when you're introduced to it at a really young age. Like, his brother was already this big time superstar. And I want to say he was maybe 11 or 12 when he got on. And so, that element of fame and the element of wanting to be validated by society. But sadly, when you're a child star, not everybody gets the successful transition. Not everybody gets the Raven Simone transition into adult stardom. And I think some people, you still fiend for that element of gratification from society. And I think if you're already not in a space where you're well, it's easy to fall down the loops of, you have substance abuse problems, you got mental illness issues, you got depression, you have all these other things. And we've just seen it time and time again with a lot of child stars who unfortunately don't live very long lives. And it's not even just child stars. Sometimes it's just people who they become celebrities and eventually the celebrity slows and they don't know how to deal with it because it's all they know. And so I think sadly for Aaron, I haven't really followed his situation as much, but I was reading that he was still battling with a lot of stuff when he passed on.
You could just you could see that he was battling. It just was on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you saw his interviews or whenever he would pop up on social media again, he didn't look healthy at all. So rest in peace to Aaron Carter, and and sending his condolences to his family. Again, we tired of saying RIP on this show. It's kind of crazy. But shout out to everybody that's just keeping safe and just dealing with a whole bunch of loss but pushing through.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic before we get the Mako Girls on here. Mr. Kanye West. Okay. Anti-Semitic tweets has cost him everything. And then I'm gonna piggyback off of this and just jump into Kyrie Irving gets dropped from the Nets for anti-Semitic tweets, just a temporary suspension, but dropped without pay, nevertheless. I want to hear your thoughts on just all this anti-Semitism.
Sometimes it helps to keep stuff to yourself, honestly. Everybody is entitled to feel how they want to feel, but honestly, if your viewpoints are not leading to a call for action or there's some kind of end goal, maybe you don't got to always share everything. Um, doesn't mean I necessarily agree with anything that they're saying, but sometimes you got to understand, what balls are in your court and which ones are not. And so, in regards to Kyrie, what we understand is he tweeted the documentary, right? And I see a lot of people saying, okay, well, what about the smoke tours, Amazon for distributing the documentary and everything else like that? I think where Kyrie messed up, if I were Kyrie after tweeting that, I would have just left the conversation and never brought it up again and let it die off. But again, when you start doing the press conferences, if you've already shaken the table and people feel some kind of way, especially the powers that be, at that point, they expect you to play the game and play the right cards. And if you go against that, they're going to end you, just like they did with Kanye. And please, these are not endorsements of anything that neither of them have said or done, because if you follow me on my social media, they've been getting lit up for the last few years. But I will say what I find interesting, especially the smoke I had with Kanye, was that you've done, all this anti-black stuff, all these different viewpoints and things that are very detrimental to the collective of black people in general in regards to any progress black people are trying to make. Then when you get caught up in your smoke, you want to come back and say, oh, I need y'all to come. And this is what we need to round up together. And I'm like, nah, you was already telling me I'm too broke to even for you to value my opinion. So don't worry about it. It's kind of like Lion King after Scar threw the hyenas under the bus. And then after he's at rock bottom and it's friends. Nah, you got on over there with them other friends you thought you made. You got it. But I will say the other thing too, though, for all the smoke that these folks are getting, the thing that I can't get past at the same time is I'm looking at all these folks that are on the ballot for Tuesday that are either associated with neo-Nazi groups and everything else. And I'm like, I need the smoke that Kyrie and some of them are getting to go to some of these people who are literally most likely going to be elected and make the decisions for a lot of folks. So, I think the problem is a lot of celebrities, especially people that are wealthy, we get into the space where there's an assumption that there's a correlation between wealth and intellect, or wealth and likability, or wealth and expertise. And so a lot of times folks watch
and wealth and social media following.
Yeah, they get, social media followers, all of a sudden you got all the answers. But yeah, you got a lot of folks who they watch one documentary or they don't read one book. Now they got the whole world figured out. They're ready to lead a movement. So they open these cans of worms and then they can't carry the conversation. And then they get eaten up. And that's what we just saw happen with both of them. And so if you're going to have a conversation about anything in regards to demographics regarding Israel or Judaism or the Israelites or who's Jewish, who's not, understand that that's a conversation about historical accuracies in a parallel with spiritual conversations. It's two different worlds that I think people are trying to conflate into one and pass off as however they see the world. Like, that's going to be an issue. So I think with even Kyrie, kind of not addressing the fact that something like the Holocaust happened in the past. Because now it's like the conversation gets bigger. Once you open that can of worms, they're going to latch onto everything out there and they're going to want you to answer for it. Since you started the conversation, let's see where you stand on it. And so unfortunately, if you don't stand in the space that goes with the collective thought or what was collectively understood as offensive or not offensive, then yeah, you're going to be collateral. So sucks for them, but sometimes just keep stuff to yourself. Or there's always the era of kitchen table talk. Why?
Okay.
You got millions of people following you. Why you gonna post that? It's gonna be smoke. So
like, what happened to that era? We just kept things amongst the friends and the family. Now it's like when people have a thought, they put it out on Instagram, and it's like, yo, everyone did not need to know that. And I do think that people do regret when they do that sometimes. I feel like it's just an impulse, and then you put it out there, and then you see the backlash, and I do think they regret. I think Kanye definitely is regretting what he says.
Yeah, you see with Kyrie, like he's now at this point, he's apologized. He offered the $500,000, and the folks like, no, we don't want it. No, so and it's like,
Mako Girls, be on standby. I'm calling you in now.
Getting there. So that's where we're at, unfortunately. Learn to just keep stuff to yourself. If it's not going to progress anything, you ain't got to share.
100% facts. 100% facts.
Oh, ladies.
There you go. Hey. Let's go, ladies. What's up?
Hey, good. How you feeling?
Okay, first of all, let the people know who you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mimi.
I'm Anai.
Yo, it's Keena.
And we're the Mako Girls.
An ATL girl group based out of Atlanta, but we are sisters.
Yes.
Each of us. We've been doing this music for about 9 years
now.
Yes.
Dope.
Okay, first of all, we clap for Black excellence. Welcome. All right. Welcome to the Zap exclusive. Are y'all ready to be zapped in, ladies?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, y'all been on the previous show before, but and that was like last year, right?
Yeah, it was last year. We didn't know. We was like, we've been on this show before.
Yeah. And y'all were on there with Sarah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I do remember that. So long, interesting connection, but let's bring it all the way back. Like, how long have y'all been in the game for?
Yeah, it hit 9 years in October. So we were just talking about it being 10 years next year. So we were like,
we do for our 10-year anniversary.
Right, for being Mako Girls. We've been working for that long since we've been 10, 12, and 14, just creating music.
All right, Calvin, you got a question for him?
Yeah, and so what do you say to folks? Because we're in a space where, again, because we have like social media, we're in the era of streaming. Everything's real instant. You know what I mean? Especially now, TikTok. All you need is that one hit and it goes. But what would be your advice to people who, again, don't understand the patience of something like a 9 or 10 years and understanding that time is for you to develop your craft? Like, what advice would you have for people who want it?
I would say don't look at other people's progress and growth, because that was something that we struggled with at first. Seeing like the people that was around us like prosper and grow, we're like, we want to be like that. We want to grow like just.
When's our time? Yeah.
Like, when is our time? When is our time to shine? But it just takes time, and especially on the path that we are on, we just want to make sure that it's like we're more worried about the quality rather than the quantity of which we put
Yeah, and I think the longevity, letting people know consistency is like the key, and letting people see that you're continuously working, because when you're not on a platform and social media is so big, when you're not posting and you're not doing this, they think you completely stop working. But just continuously putting things out there, letting them know that you're still working, especially with just girl groups in general, they don't know how long they're gonna last, and just keep putting content out there to let people know that you're still working on your craft. And it's not an overnight thing sometimes for some people. Some people have relationships that puts them in a place to go further.
People get really lucky.
And some people get lucky, and some people you gotta literally work from the ground up to build your fan base, your craft, and everything.
It really depends on what lane that you are in, or what type of industry that you be a part of, that determines whether or not your success will be quick or if it's like going to take time to build,
or what you want out of your career. Because if you do want it longevity, it might take longer to get there. But if you're just looking for something quick, I mean, it can happen overnight with all the platforms that you have and opportunities and what people like.
And it's not like even if you put in the work and it takes a longer time, just know that like later on down the line that your progress and all of that work is going to show at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Calvin, did they answer that question for you?
They did. Right. They went on. We know y'all sisters. Y'all finishing each other's words.
Oh,
and everything.
Can't help it.
That's good. That's good.
Definitely. So now you guys have been really grinding 10 years, you know what I'm saying? And I've probably known you guys now for at least been watching you guys for about a year. So I've been seeing just how you guys put your work in and just the consistency that it is, the performance, y'all dancing skills, y'all vocals, y'all be rapping. Y'all definitely bring so much to the table just as artists. Let me ask you, what do you feel is the biggest challenge to trying reaching a bigger audience?
Ooh, the biggest challenge. Oh my God, I'm trying to think.
The biggest challenge is when you want to get a bigger audience, first you have to find your audience, because you can be put, like for us, we could be doing so much, but if we haven't found our right audience, it would always go to like nothing until you really find your audience, your target audience that will always like hit and grow your fan base all the time. That will be your biggest challenge, because once you got the audience, then you can just go up from there.
And I would say also for us, we're still trying to get used to this, is putting ourselves out there and like being more personable with everybody, with our like community and everything else, because for us, we're like kind of not close.
We're private.
We're
like
very
we don't
private,
show everything.
So we don't show like, oh, we're gonna eat this for lunch and eat this for dinner. But like
this is what we're currently doing this weekend.
We're going to the mall right now. Like we don't show all of those moments. We honestly forget to record because we're so used to just living our lives and being in the moment instead of people actually wanting to see it.
But some people want to see that, so we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll try.
Yeah, so I think that's like the difficult part, is just making sure you're putting yourself out there enough to grow, to get a bigger fan base, because when they love you, it's going to continuously grow because they love you as a person. And that's what we're learning, is like they want to see you as your personality. They know you can sing and dance like so many people can, but they want to love you. And I feel like that's what we're learning, to grow our audience and make it a way bigger platform and people loving us. That's really what they're looking for.
Okay. Dope. Okay. First of all, y'all giving it like this.
Look, I want y'all to know, like when y'all first answered, y'all all went, y'all. I just want y'all to know y'all on a 3-part harmony when y'all did that. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but.
Okay. No, you guys are definitely always on beat and always on target. I think you guys are great examples for y'all generation and just for girls that are trying to, pursue a career in music and entertainment, to kind of look up to, because you guys are very positive. I think your music is very positive and you guys are talented. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of people that come out here that cannot dance. I can tell you this, I have to be honest. That cannot sing, that cannot rap. And some of them are able to figure out how to get there, right? Mm-hmm. So, let me ask you this. In terms of like challenges, do you feel like you ever have to dumb yourselves down to kind of make the right type of music?
No, I don't think
I feel like we've had to like not put it and not overthink it as much, because we're so like meticulous on making sure like we're telling a story or this and that. Like sometimes people want it to be clear cut, that they can understand or connect it to them. And I feel like a lot of times when it comes to creating music, we tend to think about, or at least I would say personally, I tend to think about that more as like people want to like hear it and be like, oh, that's me, and not so technical like how we would probably think about it, and then overcomplicate it to where somebody can't connect to like the song or whatever. But
and it's also like getting stuck with like melodies or certain topics and stuff, because for us, we're on the ground, we're on the hustle, like we moving. And some people, they're like, I just want like a chill song.
Yeah, I want some fun,
like something fun, something casual.
So
and then we struggle like trying to be like, okay, fun, casual, and we'll like try to come up with a million ideas. And because we're like sisters, we're all connected. It's like
we sync automatically, like coming up with song ideas. Like it's best when we work with a different writer or just somebody else, because they just throw out some fresh ideas or fresh notes and tunes that we don't think of, because literally our brain immediately we get a song and it just all of us sync up.
And on platforms like TikTok with challenges and dances, we really like to like amplify it to make it us, so that way we're not like just doing what everybody's already doing and we're just like another face to the trend. Like I heard Nikki saying that, but we try to add our own flair.
And we keep challenging ourselves too, because like at one point we did the sturdy and like some like our little slippers, and then someone was like, y'all should do it in heels, and we looked at the comment, we're like, let's try it.
We're gonna challenge ourselves.
We challenge.
Okay. Oh, y'all dance in heels?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hurt my calves afterwards, but like the video was good, so
the views they're pretty good, so we did it.
Okay.
Just because they don't know how many times we do it before the video's actually posted. They'll see that one good take, but they don't know we did it about 10 times before that one good take.
One more dance heels. So okay.
We're really doing this for y'all.
Okay, shoot. All right, Calvin, you got another question for?
All right, so when it comes to your creative process, because a lot of people have their own ways of doing things. Some folks get the track and they write to it. Some folks already have a melody in their head. Is it a situation where, I don't know, one of y'all wake the other two up at 4 a.m. like, oh, I need y'all right now, and then y'all got to add two, like, don't wait till tomorrow? Like, what's your creative process, or the formula you guys like to normally use in addition to what you shared with us?
If anything, we'll post something that's like on social media saying, hey, we're looking for different beats to to write on, and people will email it to us, and then we'll listen to the beats, and then whichever ones like we really vibe with just the melody of it, then that's what we write to. That's most of the time. Like
not yet.
We haven't had that opportunity to be like, oh my God, I just thought of a melody, let's like make a song about this. But
I think it's because we're traumatized. Like, we were younger, we did write a song without the beat, and then trying to like get somebody to create it to match what we were envisioning, it wasn't there. So now we're like, okay, we're like, let's go ahead and just work with the beat. I mean, we're still open to that process as well. We're learning our writing styles and processes. Like, that's the stuff we're going through now. But we look for the beat. We come up with a topic. We throw out topics that connect to us in our normal everyday lives.
Yeah, I was about to say, if anything now, after we get the rough draft of the beat, like just like the rough mix of it, when we just listen to it over and over again, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, let's add this to the song. Let's like build it. So more so I get more of the creative juices after we get like the rough layout of it, and I add to it more.
I would say for me, like it would take me a moment. I'll like write something, and if I'm like, oh, that flows well, I'll write it. And if I get too frustrated with it, I'll just like sit it to the side for a second. Let it
Keena takes the longest to
write. Look, but I come up with the good stuff though.
Yeah. Keena does. She comes with the outside.
Okay.
It's a slow cook process, but it works.
Yeah, Keena marinates on her idea. But we have a song to complete. But it's like a team effort. We'll come up with the topic, work on stuff individually, and then we'll come back together and kind of revise everybody's.
And if my part takes too long, I'll ask them for help.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it works right now.
Okay, so you guys all write though.
Yeah, we all write, and we're working with different writers, learning a new process of writing and like the whole skill behind it, because that's a skill in itself, is writing. So we're learning it all.
Okay, dope. Let's go, ladies. Yeah. No, actually, would y'all mind giving us a little something? Could we hear a little something that y'all got like already like locked in?
Oh, okay. What's someone gonna do, ladies? Why do
it's only funny because I was like, oh no, Mimi, are you gonna be okay? Because she just got her wisdom.
Yeah, I just
got my. She's not supposed to be talking as much as she is right now, but
And y'all got her in the middle doing all the talking.
Yeah, right.
You gonna have dry talking?
She's recovering, but we got y'all.
That's me. I talk a lot and I can't help it. But yeah, I got my wisdom teeth pulled like 3 days ago. But what song? Waterfalls. Yeah, because it's still low register.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Ladies.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast.
All right, come on with the lows. All right.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. 3-part harmony.
Yeah.
I need my part. Y'all gotta let me know. I gotta get my part. Calvin know how to sing.
Okay, so you're gonna go. We go. Don't go chasing waterfalls down there.
All the way down there.
Yeah, you got to scoop. So go on.
No, that's Calvin. That's your part. That's me. No, what's Calvin's part? Let Calvin go first, and I'm gonna go second.
We got 3 different internet connections. We're gonna be coming in at different times. Somebody's gonna be delayed.
We're gonna be all.
Oh my goodness, I cannot sing. I'm not about to embarrass myself and start singing on this live, okay?
No.
But y'all killed that, okay? Y'all are great. Wisdom teeth out and all. You killed it. So let me ask y'all this: do y'all see yourselves doing like a show, like one of those like competition shows, or do you see yourselves like being a part of a reality show? I don't know. Do you guys see yourself doing any of that?
So we laugh when the competition shows because
I actually cannot stand competition shows. I really don't like them. Like we had tried like America's Got Talent?
Yeah, they contacted us. We were like, okay, we'll do it. That wasn't like in our cards to do that. Like we've just always created our own platforms and grown our own fan base that way. We've been open to like television, like doing reality TV.
Like if there was like a reality TV based on us like putting stuff together for a show, like because if people see the behind the scenes of us prepping for these events, overall just like the whole process, that is something that is very entertaining to watch or just even interesting to look at. Yeah, because it's a lot, especially doing it independent. So
or even shows that was left field from music completely. We've been offered to do shows like that. So
but singing shows, it's its own beast.
It's its own thing. It's its own beast. Yeah, they want something completely different, and I know a lot of times for us because we're already so together, like a group and established, and it sometimes can play against us because we're already like put together.
Got you. Okay. All right. So y'all are definitely media trained. Who got y'all all the way ready for interviews?
It's a combination between management.
Management and honestly experience. Like doing it for years over time, you start being more comfortable.
Because we got the poster boards, the paper that says, say this.
Yeah.
Make sure you say this.
Like back then we had to sit at a table. They would do like 3 interviews in a day and we'll be speaking on the phone. But mainly it'll be me talking the whole time. And then we'll just like, yeah, y'all follow us at this. So like we always say like 2 things, but over time it really is just getting comfortable, like just in the experience of just speaking and always talking and making sure.
Thinking of it as more of a conversation rather than like a very intense interview.
Yeah,
definitely. Who likes interviews the most, and who hates interviews the most?
I would say Mimi loves.
I love interviews. I watch interviews all day. Like that's what I do for fun. So when they say I talk too much, that's why. Because I just sit there and watch people interview all day.
I dislike interviews because I'm very socially, like I do not like speaking to like new people, or I'm just not used to it. Because even when we go to events and they'll be like, go network, I am terrified because like it's nothing against anybody. It's just I'm scared to like speak to new people that I'm not used to. Even as a child, I wasn't speaking to anybody. They'll be like, oh, what's up? And I'm just looking at them like I didn't speak a lot.
See, Anai has this social battery. Oh yeah, so she'll talk to a good amount of new people and she's like done for the day. Like she doesn't really want to talk to any new people or for the week, right? She's mingled enough for the day or for the week where she's like, I'm drained. I just want to like be by myself.
I'm like half and half. Like I like interviews at certain points, and at other points when stuff get a little too, I'm like.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say because then I end up stuttering and then like I'll mess up, or if I'm reading something or saying something, I'll trip over my words a lot. So I'm like, you know what, Mimi, go speak, because speaking is just not my forte.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what? How do you feel like music today? Who are some of your inspirations from back in the day that y'all look up to?
Oh,
TLC,
Michael
most
Jackson.
Michael
Personally,
Jackson.
for me, Michael Jackson, I just loved his stage presence, his music. Like, even to this day, listening to it, it's so full of like harmonies, and there's so much
Yeah.
stuff in it. Like, that is something that you don't hear nowadays, and
Yeah.
that is just that's what I want to be able to implement into our music. Just the fullness of harmonies and warmth in the music. When you hear it, you want to dance, you want to move, and it's something that's always carrying a message in the song. So that is one of my major inspirations. They like him too.
Yeah, I like Michael Jackson too. Aaliyah was my favorite growing up. I used to sit in front of the TV because my mom used to play her music videos and try to get the dances in More Than a Woman. I just loved her style and like how she was just so confident in herself and her sound, and I just loved how she wanted to take over and like be in every aspect of entertainment. So I loved watching Aaliyah growing up. You know,
I would say I was about to say for all of us, because I don't think mine was too far back, because mine are pretty recent. But TLC was one for all of us.
Yeah, TLC for sure.
Yeah, they were influenced because of their like the message in their music, their style in general.
Yeah,
the way like the way they like put songs together and
carry
like
themselves.
Yeah.
Like that was what we inspired to be.
I think we saw they don't wear heels and they wear baggy clothes, and now it's
yes,
us.
let's go.
And Destiny's Child, of course, because they have all the hits.
Comes through with the vocals.
Like, yes, the attitude.
Okay.
And combination of them.
Now, facts.
Yeah.
All of those groups that y'all named are all dope. TLC, Destiny's Child, Aaliyah, we love. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson is one of the greatest to ever do it. Period.
Yeah.
So great influence.
We're still amazed to this day. Like, and I would listen to breakdowns of his songs without the music, just the harmonies and what he builds and the process on how many times, like, we're learning, like, how many times he'll mix one song to just get back to the original. Like, the process in making and creating music, you would think it's so fast, and no, sometimes it takes a long time to get to that product that you're looking for. So we just in awe of how hard they work as creatives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Calvin, another question? Last question?
Yeah. Well, side note. All right. So when y'all were little and y'all used to pretend to be TLC, who was who?
You see, younger me.
Yeah, did we switch? No.
We stayed.
Who was fighting to be who?
Left Eye was cool to me, so I was just like, oh, I like her. She's cool. I'll be her.
Was Left Eye.
Wait,
it was
no,
a mix.
yeah, we kept switching up.
Yeah, we swapped all the time. It was never consistent. Some days.
Oh, good. So y'all shared it. Okay. You know, some siblings like, I'm this. You know, it's gonna always be that, or you just can't be it. But no,
that's for other things. Like there's this the dolls Bratz. Like that's when we was like, oh, I'm Jade, you're this, and you're this. But like with music artists, we all just kind of alternate. That's even kind of influenced how we do our music nowadays. Like, it's no person. Oh, I want to be the lead singer with this song, or I want to be the main vocal of this. It's like, no, which one do y'all feel like doing it?
Like doing this.
Yeah, breaking down the parts.
What's is stronger in this area,
or was suited better? Like that's how we do our stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So. On a more serious note, so when it comes again to like your creative process, now as songwriters, everybody has that moment where they have an idea that works in their head, and then when it's time to go and record it, it's like, wait, something ain't coming together here. How often does that happen, and what's your process to remedy that? Because I know some folks like we just throw the song away, or we come back in 6 months, or we do something totally different. What's your process?
I think that happened our recent song that we did outside. There was a cadence that I did for my first verse, and originally the melody was consistent, and then when we listened back to it, it just sounded a bit off tempo, and I was like, oh my god, please, I want this part to work. How do we get it to work? And what we did was change the flow of it, or just like slowed it down or dragged it just a little bit longer than how I normally did it. Because outside of the track, I was like, oh yeah, it sounds fine, it'll work. But then listening back to it, it wasn't working. So just dragging the melodies or just trying different ways
to still get what you want. Yeah, I know for me, I went through the same thing. I wrote a rap and there's like this one word that I needed for it to make sense for me, but it just wasn't it was like throwing off the flow, and I literally just had to cut it because I rather it flow correctly than just to get that word in there. So a lot of times it's kind of sacrificing, like, does it sound better, or, you know, does it need to be there, or whatever. Like, a lot of times you kind of gotta, it's either stay or go. Sometimes you can find it in between because you can do background. So some of your stuff that you want to put in there may not be a lead, but it can be something as a ad lib or something like that. Like, it can still be in there somewhere. Sometimes you just gotta go.
I would say for me, it was like singing a verse, and I heard, like, I sung it out, and then I heard it. I was like, that's not giving what it needs to give.
It was getting more in your brain than it was.
I was like, that's not it. Like, if I'm not feeling it, it just don't sit right with me. So I was like, I have to record.
Like, I have the feeling, but I'm not hearing the feeling.
Like, yes, because I like to hear the feeling. Like, if I can feel, like, yeah, I feel the feeling, but can I hear the feeling? Like, that's what I really need.
Gotta go.
So I had to redo that whole section all over again. Like, no, it's not giving. It was not giving.
I tend to not be content when I write things. So if I'm writing something, I don't like it, I'll like just completely, I won't like get rid of it, because sometimes they were like, it's good, but I'll
we had to convince Mimi multiple times. Mimi, it's fine, it's good, we like it.
I'll rewrite it.
Oh, that's because y'all done recorded it. Y'all don't feel like doing it again. But
no, it's because listen. Mimi overthinks a lot, even the simplest things. So we have to tell her it's fine, don't touch it, like, do not enhance it at all. She'll come back and be like, okay, so I switched this up. Then I'm like, Mimi, why?
She showed me it's fine. I'm like, at this point, I'm gonna take your phone, give it to me. No, it don't need any adjustments. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so is she the one that come up with a last minute change an hour before a performance? Like, oh, I think we should do this instead, or?
Actually, we've done that a lot right before we got on stage. A lot of times,
but not with lyrics, only with choreography. Like, we have a step part for our music video, and sometimes with different stages, like one stage was carpet, and we're like, all right, don't do it. But then when we get to the stage and we like actually stomped on it, we're like, do it, and we have to say a cue so that we know.
I said the cue, and they did not do it. Like, so we have to stop doing that. Literally, right before. Yeah, I was like, because we were going to do the step, and I was like, don't do it, because our mics weren't placed where we could put the mics down, and I was like, break, but they still did the step, so I'm still like, I had to just catch it, because
in that moment, I thought break as in, break, let's do it, not break as in, cut it out.
I'm saying break as in interact with the crowd, not do the dance. So that's really where we have our.
Used to be a code word for like, don't do the choreography, just break off. But I ain't hear that.
That day it was not processed.
I was like, well, this is the routine that we practice, so I'm gonna just do what we practice.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
First of all, y'all are mad animated, okay? So I'm curious though, in terms of like how you guys put y'all process together. Like, all right, so now I know that you are the meticulous one about writing. Who's the meticulous one about choreography and like making sure the steps is A1 and we gotta eat this up? Oh, that's you?
Yes.
They call me the drill
You be waking them up at 5 o'clock in the morning, push-ups, crunches.
I would be the one, yes.
She be the one to be busting down the door. Wake up, everybody.
Well, I try to wake up, but they don't get up. And the time is moving, and we got to get to work. So, like, there'll be days, like, I'll be like, all right, real days, we'll run the set 3 times. All right, after we do it 3 times, let's run it without dancing, but just singing 2 times. Then we'll choreography 3 times. Like, for me, it has to be in sets of 3, 2, 3, 2 to make sure that we have it efficiently and that it's clean. And if we mess up, got to start over, it doesn't count as a set. So.
Yeah, she'll be the one. Ooh. Like, you need to lean more, get lower. And she's short. We're 5'7". She's 5'3". So
set my height.
Getting low is getting low for us.
Getting low, like we almost breaking our ankles trying to get to her level of low. So we're like, can you at least do it halfway
so we can match?
At least match a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so funny. It is really, really funny. Okay, who is the hard one in the group? Like after a performance, they'd be like, no, we could have did better. We could have did better. Who's the hard one? That's you?
But I to myself. Yeah. Because I'll be hard on myself a little bit. I messed up as certain times during the performance. I'm like, I could have done better.
Yeah.
That was disgraceful. No, I need to do this again. Next time I'm gonna drill it. in my brain, and I'm gonna redo this because this was not it. I was so mad.
I feel like if we have an off show, all of us are the same way.
Yeah.
We don't really even interact that much after the show. If it's not good, we kind of just quiet until.
Okay, you like
we're like,
like when we get back home, we are drilling this. Like, I swear to you, we're going to be running laps. I will not have another show. Like, that'd be even my.
But we haven't really had a bad show recently.
Yeah, so we haven't.
But
I've
been doing a little every now and then. So I'm like, I could have done better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to do this. I got to do this again.
And that's just also us being hard on ourselves as well, because we really strive to be like the best that we can be. Sometimes when we just, even if it's not to everybody, it looks really good. To us, we're just like, we could have gave more. But that's just us wanting just to be our best selves every time. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go, ladies.
Yeah.
Y'all are definitely such a breath of fresh air. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely do y'all thing. Y'all are based in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Based in Atlanta. Have y'all ever been to New York?
Oh, yeah. We got family there.
That's
we
our
go there.
second home.
We used to go there every summer. Yeah, to visit our grandma.
Okay, got it. Have you guys been to LA?
Once. Yeah, for literally one day.
I felt like I was trapped in a snow globe.
Yes,
like that. There's mountains everywhere, and like
it's just like a bowl.
It looks fake. It looks completely fake. Every single time I looked out the window, I was like, "This is not real." I'm in a simulation.
The only thing is we didn't have time to do attractions or anything, or just like walk around much. So we just kind of went there. It was like, oh wow, the scenery is nice. It's different. All right, cool. Work, and then we had to get on a plane back home. But
yeah, it was literally for one day.
We'll have to experience it one day, like the full experience.
Okay. So I got y'all pulled up right here, and I know y'all just released a new single called Mad Hype.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce the track? I want to play a little bit, and then we're going to get into some things.
Okay, you guys go ahead and introduce
Let's go, Kino. Let's go, Kino.
We got this.
Y'all, this is our single Mad Hype. We just did it with our boy Saint Even on the track. It just released. So y'all go ahead, run them numbers up. It's on all music platforms.
We also got merch, you guys.
Yeah, Mad Hype.
Guys, this is a hype track. Let's get into it.
Get into it. If you're feeling this, drop some fire emojis in the chat. Okay? Calvin, you ready? We're about to get hype.
I'm ready. We get mad hype. We get mad hype. Yeah. We get mad hype. We get mad hype. If your grip is style unique, tell what's up. If you rockin' with us, put your ones up. Yeah. We get mad hype. We get mad hype. Yeah. We get mad hype. We get mad hype. If your grip is style unique, tell what's up. And if you rockin' with us, put your ones up. Yeah. When the beat drops, bruh, I feel it in my most creative spots. I can not stop. Ayy, that flow like golden predators. Watch them drop, keep it on lock. Off top, I'm the Rocky Balboa of poetry. Princess of this musical poetry. Burn like a volcano on the floor. Me taking the whole body right to the core. Me feel like it's for me at the same time. Wish it was more me, nothing can lower me to a low level. I'm speaking my mind and stay on my grind, cause my grind tight. Did I do on the sense of a limelight? When the flag to the crowd, they get mad hype. ATF turn me up and that's on site. Yeah, you can have back the mic. Have back the mic. I had the mic.
Pull it.
Mad Hype.
Okay, Mad Hype. Let's get into the track. Like, what are we getting hype about? What's going on with Mad Hype?
Mad Hype. This was a track actually for our 5th annual Carnival Glow Party. So we did a concert every year in Atlanta, and every year it got bigger and bigger. And this one we wanted to do like different tracks with artists that performed on our previous shows.
Our cypher towards the end of the show. After we do our performance, we do a cypher with other artists that was on the show, and we collaborate with them, write a rap track. And this was one of them. This is one of the hypest one. Every time we go to a show or a performance, we performing this song, and everybody's just like, oh my God, I need that track right now. Like, where's Mad Hype?
Where can I find it?
Right. And so this one's just giving energy, it's giving bars. Like, that's the feel.
It's taking us back to what because when, like, I would say between the 2017, 2019 era of Mako Girls, we was really just spitting a lot of different rap tracks. So now we're getting into our singing era, but Mad Hype always bring the energy. Every time we perform it, it's so much fun. The DJ start getting hype. He'll do dropouts in the music, performing it live.
Okay.
fun.
And we also had our boy Say Even to come out and perform with us as well. And he get hype.
Yeah,
like,
the energy, the voice be going. It'd be so much fun.
Okay, let's go. I see I got the merch on.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go, Mad Hype. It's the detailing for me, ladies. Let's go.
Oh, I actually designed the Mad Hype design on the t-shirts and the hoodies. We just had our Mad Hype release event for the song, and actually when the video dropped, so we had a lot of our fans and supporters come out and just come show love for the song, and
so
we just turned up. It was so much fun.
So Mad Hype is out now on YouTube at Official Mako Girls. So after this interview, y'all check it out.
The music video, because it's lit.
Yeah, we should run that up. Calvin, ask him one more question before we get up out of here.
Oh man, where do I start? Oh man. All right. So let me ask you guys, what would be like your dream collaboration? Whether it be in a live show or whether it be in studio. Like you have a dream act that y'all are breaking y'all necks to work with, and y'all blowing up their social media now trying to make it happen. Like who is it?
Doja Cat.
Hit
us up, please.
Chloe and Halle.
Oh yeah.
That would be so epic.
Another one, Blackpink. That's a K-pop girl group, and for us to be able to collaborate with each other, you got an all-black girl group and then a K-pop girl group. Like that would be an epic show.
Yeah,
like, that would be for the records history, pretty much.
I would have said BTS, but there.
Oh yeah, that would be BTS, but that'd be another time. Who's else? That's other people. I think that's what we can think of for now.
Yeah. Rihanna.
Oh, Rihanna.
Yeah, the queen.
Okay.
So,
Those some good ones. Those some
good
ones.
Yeah, those are fun.
Would you guys do acting?
Yes, we're actually we also filmed the same night of our release party. We filmed for a TV show at the release, so it was a lot. It was a lot going on, but we've been filming for 2 shows, so that happened.
We've been dipping our toes in acting lately.
Yeah.
So far, we've been pretty professional. We've been professionals for now.
Yeah, we've been having our speaking.
Yeah, I have my ways. The same thing with acting for me. It's the same thing with interviews. So I'm just like, it's cool.
And I was like, not yet. I think I'll just be myself right now.
Right. Nah, y'all are definitely killing it, and I did see y'all acting skills actually a little bit in y'all music video. Ain't Think About You.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all really killed. The video actually slaps. Okay.
The music video is so fire. It was so much fun to create.
Yes, and I wrote the beginning part of the video. So the whole little back talk.
Anais was off the fly when she said to
they
the
was
teacher.
just like, you say something else too. I'm like, me? What did I say? I don't know.
She said
you better sit
better
down.
sit down. They was just like, oh.
I was like, is that a little too spicy? I don't know.
We had like
Calvin, you definitely got to check that video out.
You said, sorry, say it again.
No, I was telling Calvin he definitely has to go check that video out. It's like a short film.
The extended one, because now we have the shorter where you can see the video, but the extended one where you see the intro and how it starts, it's definitely a movie.
But it's definitely a movie. The dancing, the casting, y'all fashion sense, all of it. You know, I could tell y'all took y'all time with it, and I can appreciate that.
Oh yeah, thank you. 3 weeks or so, I would say like a month, to work on that video. We actually shot it at our old high school, so that was really fun. The principal, who actually is the principal for the high school, was in the video. Yeah. He was like so excited to be a part of it. We had the actual band, the dancers. Shout out to Kiki Eli. She directed everything, and then
the process super easy.
Yes.
And shout out to Taylor Perry mom, because she made the choreography.
So all that dope choreography, that was by her.
And she did the fashion. She came through with the looks. We was definitely like pulling out different looks that you haven't seen from us. So we were excited to like experiment, come with new things.
The colors really jumping in that video. Like it's a really good watch as far as like the color vibrance in it. Yeah.
Calvin, like, was you confused? Like they acted, it was like, yeah, we the Mako Girls.
I was happy it was a girl group out there. There's not a lot of girl groups. Like, so kudos to y'all, at least in that aspect. There's like 2 girl groups out right now. So I'm just happy anytime we can get more.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, before we get y'all out of here, what do you guys think about Flo?
I actually like their music, and I was looking them up and their sound and stuff. I really would love to like do collaborations with girl groups because we could really win together. Because people are like, I miss it. And when we was growing up seeing girl groups, it was like OMG Girls or like Fifth Harmony, Little Mix, like they were all out at the same time. And I think that would be cool.
And the fact that none of them really collaborated with each other, that's something that you didn't see back then. Or people always compare girl groups. So for us to really just like start the movement of working with other girl groups or being able to support each other, that would just be something that
I think at one point we were like, you know, it would be so dope if we got all the girl groups
and
like a girl whole concert or
a girl group tour and just travel because so many people love it, and that's like the void that we also see. So we just always try to show our support and everything because normally they'll be like, it's either one girl group or the other, but our sounds are two completely different. So you can like both. And I love that they bring something new.
Absolutely. Have you guys ever been on a show with them or met them?
No, I found them on TikTok, I believe. And then I just kind of did my research. Anytime I see a girl group, I check them out and just see what they do and kind of see if we are still in this, because, you know, we're still in the same business. So I see if we're in the same playing field, but they do something completely different. I do think they bring the Destiny's Child era back, and we still sit in that TLC spot. So I'm like, I'm good on that. And I actually seen another girl group called Boys World. They have like the completely different girls that have all their own personalities and styles. Spice Girls. I would get that vibe from them. But they're super colorful and fun. I think they're in LA. But I think Flo is in the UK. If they're not based here, they're in the UK. So I did their.
And there was one boy group that I saw on YouTube on an ad, and they were like wearing mad colorful clothes, and they could dance really well too. But they were like a boy group. Y'all know anybody?
Was it four boys?
Boys, yeah.
There's only two boy groups that I know of, but I don't know if they're like still doing. Well, I know there's a group called Futrell. They're in LA. It's 4 boys and their brothers. And then there's another called Bomb Diggs. I don't know if they still create or do music, but I know they were a group as well that had pretty good movement as well.
Okay, so you the encyclopedia.
Right.
I'm just like, I find what I find. I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
Anais telling us about the K-pop groups that are coming out.
We all really have a variety of styles that we can just like listen to. So like Mimi will be more inclined to know what's going on, like the music and like here, and I'm over here just hopping from different country to country to
and I'm just in the alternative music, just sitting there like, guys, just check it out. It'll be fine.
Keena's she gets us into like Billie Eilish, Melanie Martinez, like completely, like they are so creative, and I think that's why we have that aspect in our music and being able to create is because Keena's so outside the box. Like nothing that is like extremely like mainstream. This is somebody who's like literally they have their audience and they just rock out, and we get all from Keena.
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, ladies, you guys were a pleasure to have on here tonight.
Thank you for having us.
And we definitely look forward to seeing what y'all have next coming up. So let us know. Is there anything that we need to be on the lookout for? Or anything coming up?
There's definitely. So there is a show going down January 15th, 2023. We're going to be having a live concert for y'all to hear our new and exclusive music that we'll be releasing throughout the year. Along with that, we're going to be dropping a project as well. So y'all going to hear all of that at our event. It's the Mako Takeover concert going down once again January 15th.
Actually, I believe tomorrow the early bird tickets are going to be available on Ticketmaster. So all month of November is $7. You guys bring your friends. We have so much fun. We're headlining our show. We'll have different openers. It's gonna be a night of fun, a night of just seeing this new girl group, like us revamping ourselves also, and then hearing exclusive music, new dance moves. It's gonna be at Center Stage Vinyl in Atlanta, so y'all come out, come turn up with your girls. Y'all can fly out because I heard Keno was like, we have people everywhere, so I'm like, y'all come through. It's in January 15th.
And we also are going all the exclusive music that you will be hearing that night. We will be dropping it soon.
So we're excited about that. And then we've just been collaborating with different brands. Nike, JD Sports. We just did something for Taco Bell. So we're excited to collaborate with new brands the upcoming year and just continue
collaborating with new creators.
Creators, influencers, different writers, new style sound from us as well that y'all will be hearing. So y'all hear all the upbeats, you hear the rap, you hear the R&B, but now it's more so like a chill song. And yeah, it gives a different vibe from what we already have released. So y'all, 2023, y'all be on the lookout for that.
And I know our manager just mentioned it as well. We do actually have a podcast that we're actually going to be releasing episodes on our YouTube channel called The Pen Combo. So you guys get excited for that. You get to hear more of our like thoughts and deeper conversations. And it's going to be our first season.
This will be our personality test.
Personality.
Yeah. So it's going to be on our YouTube channel, official Mako Girls. But you can follow all the platforms at Pen Combo.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
It's the talking in synergy. It's everything on cue. It's you guys are ready to be a TV for me. All right. Listen, can the people that are not in Atlanta, can they stream this concert? Are you guys gonna do like a virtual situation, or is it just all in house?
We haven't actually figured that out.
Primarily is in-house. However, we will be able to set up an option where people can stream it live the day of if they cannot get their concert tickets. For sure, we're going to make something work for those who
Okay. And you know, what's your name again back there?
Anai.
Anai, I like you. You went to work just now on that. Yeah. Okay, that's how you lock that in.
Okay. Don't worry, we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
She said, listen, the people everywhere is going to see this concert, okay? So it's going to be together.
Right.
Listen, I appreciate y'all. Calvin, thank you again so much for coming on Zap Exclusive. Ladies, Mako Girls, I need y'all to give me a drop.
Okay.
All right? We the Mako Girls, and y'all are zapped in with Zap Exclusive.
We the Mako Girls, and y'all are zapped in with the Zap. Yeah, okay. With the, I want to make sure, is it a the in there? Or no? With the
we're the Mako Girls, and you're zapped in with Zap Exclusive.
With Zap. Okay. Yeah, okay. Ready?
Okay.
We're the Mako Girls. Yeah. Okay. 6 ladies. We're the Mako Girls, and you're zapped in with Zap Exclusive.
Let's go! Ladies, I'm going to see y'all in the DMs, all right? Thank y'all so much for coming.
Yes, thank you for having us. Good night.
Yes. Appreciate y'all. Mako Girls, everybody. So Calvin.
Still live. Yep.
Still live. About to get off. I just wanted to see how you felt about the interview. This is called South Exclusive, the 30-second after class. Okay. How'd you feel about the interview?
Oh, no, they were fun. Like I said, I really love the idea of girl groups becoming a thing again, because everybody's always saying, there's no groups, even with the guy groups. So it's really dope. And I think the dopest aspect is because they're sisters. They're just going to already have that cohesion that's already there. So I definitely want to see them make it far. So, yeah, they're dope. Good people. Good energy.
Facts. Definitely, man. I'm excited to see the new talent that's coming out, and I'm happy that you're a part of Zap Exclusive to even help amplify these voices that are definitely coming up. So we already know some more voices will be amplifying soon in 2023. I'm excited, okay? But, bro, thank you so much for being on here, and I'm going to see you next week, all right?
No problem. See y'all.
Deuces!